Hi guys, so welcome to our use case tutorials, and today we are going to be, or in this series, we're going to be talking about a use case for Python string formatting. So the first thing we want to understand is what is string formatting, right? So string formatting is often used, it's an essential tool basically used for reporting, or basically I would say generating human readable reports. Human readable reports. And so I'm going to show you a use case here, right? And with this use case, we are going to do have a report so that you can make sense of when you see a Python string formatter, what it does. It's not just you writing the code, but you're going to make sense of it in general. We already have a data set already, and I'm going to read the first 5 rows, right? Documentation always on point. So the first 5 rows. Now, if you look at this, let me see. We are going to be looking at, we're going to be looking at what exactly? We want to look at, say, the job title. We're going to look at salary and salary in USD. So the first thing we want to do is we want to look at the first five. We want to look at the first five, um, the first five, say, highest salaries or something. First five highest salaries, right? So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to say n equals to 5. So that's 1. Then I'm going to say highest. I'm going to create a variable. I'm going to call it highest underscore salaries. And what am I going to do here? I am going to call on my data frame. Then I will chain it with n largest, right? So with n largest, you can see, yes, so I have n largest here. So you're just going to look at, I'm going to put n here. So it's going to give me the first 5. Then I'm going to look at salary, exactly. Of course, you know that we've checked out salary and we understand that salary in itself is an integer. It's yes, an integer. It's a numerical variable. So I'm going to call this salary. So I'm going to store this in a variable. So you see, again, we talk about how variables are important in Python. So this I will do. So that means if I am to call highest salaries, I'm going to have the first 5, that of the highest salaries, right? Now I am going to, what am I going to do with this? So I'm going to show you how the string formatting now works. So I'm going to write a for loop. I will say for index, because that's I want to look at the index and I want to look at the row in what I call it, highest salaries, right? Then I want to iterate through the rows. That's what I want to do, iter rows. That's what I'm going to do. Then I'm going to print, and so here's where it gets interesting because I'm going to take my time to do this. So first I'm going to use f. So f string, if you don't understand what the f string does, you need to go watch the video on f strings in the playlist for introduction to Python. So here you can see I'm going to say, I'll start off by saying in row. So we're going to have the row, and we're going to call on the index. So now whenever we use a formatter using this, you see this curly braces basically calls on the value we're looking at. So I say index and plus 1, right? Then I will put this because I want it to come out like this. And I'm going to say, I'm going to, again, open one. And here I'm going to call on the row. You see, the row is going to be this row. So key value, just like key value pairs, right? The value in the row is, I'm going to put it in a square bracket, and I want to mention the job title because this is what I want to say, because I want to say something like that. So I want to mention this job title, right? This very guy here. So let me just basically write job underscore title. So that's one. I'll cover this. Then I'm done with this, and I'm going to say earn. So I'm going to say what they earn, and again I'm going to open. I'm going to open a row. Should I bring this down? I'm going to open another one. I'm going to say it's with row again. This time around, I want to say how much they earn. So I'm interested in the salary column, right? So this is how much they earn. So this, I'm about to say in row this, right? Whatever job this thing earn, this salary, right? So if I run this, ooh, what am I? There's an error. There's an error somewhere. Am I missing out something? What am I missing out? Oh, yes, I'm missing out. The F string has to be ended with this, right? Am I missing? Again, I'm having an error here. So I'm trying to figure out where exactly I'm having my errors from. So I see in row. Oh, hold on. Look at that. So in row 178, data scientists earn this amount. So you see, it's kind of readable, right? Maybe I could just put S here, right? And I put an S here. And so you can see that data scientists and data analysts and, right? So this is by data science ML, okay? So they earn this. You can see how much they earn. Does this, yeah. Okay, so I'll look at this. I could now try to make this a lot, then I can put this full colon, put a dot with a 2 and an F. Do you know what that does? That basically is going to put like a decimal columns to this, so they earn this. If I want to even, make it a lot intuitive and reporting, I could say in local currency, right? In local currency, and that sort of makes it a lot smarter. And I can also even put a notch higher and say, and then I create another row, and that row, I want to look at, say, salary in USD. Yes, I'll now put salary underscore in USD. And then I want to now even say that's what they earn. And yeah, so let me see, will that work? Uh-oh, I have messed something up. No, okay, yes. What have I done wrong again? Okay. Right, and this in local currency and yeah, let me see, and in USD. Yes, in USD. Does that work? Yes, and in USD. Oh, let's also make it so intuitive. I put a $ here. Aha, in USD. Right, and again, I put this dot to f. Aha, so you see now, it makes some sense. So here we basically have this here where we can now say that in row 178, data scientists earn this amount in local currency and this in USD. So this basically is how, this is a use case for a string formatter, right? We used a for loop, and of course, you would see what for loop is when you go over and watch the videos, the video tutorials on for loops and all. So this is basically using string form use case for string formatting, right? And we have a string formatter over here with the F, the F string is what it's called, right? And I just basically did this with the F string. So take your time and watch this video, and then you can make sense of what an F string can do using data analysis. So you can see that as a data analyst, you can do a lot of stuff with it. So again, take your time, watch this, like, subscribe, share with friends, families, and enemies so that they can learn this one object at a time.